So when you say you haven't got it?
Don't, try and use it like it suggests I'm
I'm
not using my brain.
I am saying,
that's an
I am
insult.
saying, listen, I am saying simply, if that is the original reading, the author who copied it from somewhere or transcribed it, is he the only one on planet Earth back then who was writing the Quran? Or were there other people?
Of course there were others.
Right. Did the others also have the same text?
Right, so here's my point.
Excuse me. Did the others have the same text? Or the ones before him did have the same text? The one after him did have the same text?
Right. Let me just put this point out. Because this is the only way I can qualify this, as we go around circles.
Did you understand my point?
Yeah, but let me qualify this.
Tell me first what you understood.
Let me qualify this in a much better way. We take all the old manuscripts that we have have found variances in all of them. In all of them.
You're just waffling.
In all of them. No.
I'm picking a particular example. Example.
Are you disputing what I'm saying here? Are you disputing that claim?
You're not dealing with the example at hand. I am saying.
I see what you're saying, but that's not my claim. My claim is that between the manuscripts, all the old manuscripts we've got, there are variances in all of them.
There are what?
Variances.
Scribal errors and correction.
Yes.
So what?
What do you mean, so what?
Yeah,
that's not the Muslim claim.
What is the Muslim claim?
The scholars.
You know what? This is exactly what I hear. You make a claim based on what? No one makes such a claim. Who makes a claim? Which you're debunking? No one.
Yeah. All your latest scholars.
Red herring.
All your latest scholars. No. All your latest scholars say that you haven't got those variances. They don't exist. That's my issue.
Name me a scholar. You made a claim. Name me a scholar. Game is up.
No.
Name me a scholar.
All the latest ones.
Name me a scholar. Name one.
I don't know the name.
Name one scholar on planet Earth the claim that you are making, that they're making. Planet Earth is a big world, right?
Yeah.
So go on.
Well, no, put it this way. Are these new scholars not claiming that?
Excuse me, Mark. If you have any integrity left, name one scholar.
But are your scholars,
you don't remember the name.
I could throw this back at you. Are these scholars saying there are variances, or do these scholars say that these variances do not exist? Yes or no? Which one?
Any scholar of the Quranic manuscripts will know when they examine it, scribes make mistakes and they correct them. That's how it is handwritten manuscripts.
Here's the issue with this. The way the research is done, the type of errors that we're finding is not just a subscribed error. It's clearly a more intentional. That's the point Dennis Brubaker's case is putting forward.
You haven't even read his works.
Get
a life and read his works first.
22 examples. And you've only looked at a fraction as well. Because you said 800 and something. There's 4,000 plus. Since you last looked at it, there's 4,000 plus variances.
Out of this 4,000 plus...
And in the 22 that I looked at, there are major differences.
Out of this 4,000 plus, from his thesis that we looked at, look, I cannot look at his claims that he published later, or on a website which is already behind the firewall, right? So up to date. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Mansur has done it before, and inshallah, God willing, we will debunk your claims.
I very much doubt it somehow.
Look, did you even read the refutations that I have made against the claims about the Quranic manuscripts in Warsh and Hafs? Have you watched the video?
I've watched some of it, yeah.
Which one?
I've watched.
Let me ask you again.
Let me ask. 1,000 videos, so I can't be precise of what
Let me ask you one single question.
Yeah.
Are there any differences between the Hafs Quran manuscripts or Qurans?
Yeah. Sorry, because I'm not saying yes as in yes, carry on.
Are there differences between the Warsh Qurans?
Yeah.
I debunk those claims that there are differences. And you still come along and say there are differences. So basically you haven't even watched the refutation.
I don't believe you have debunked them. I don't believe you have debunked them.
Oh, that's your belief, your faith in a spirit.
No, that's your opinion of what it is.
Excuse me.
From what I remember, it didn't sound very convincing to me.
Excuse me.
It didn't sound very convincing
Excuse me.
So there's my
Any man or woman of integrity who has seen my refutation will agree with me.
You don't know that. You have no idea what people's view of it is. You can't even make that claim. That's impossible.
Excuse me.
You're making an impossible claim there, mate.
If I provide evidence after evidence after evidence and after evidence, and you say, I don't get it.
I accept hundreds of thousands of people have watched that video. You don't know their views.
Listen.
So you can't make that claim.
No, here is a challenge
again. You may
have
to change that.
Another challenge and a homework.
Rephrase it.
From your team, go and give me arguments against the refutation that I have made on the Warsh and the Hafs Qur'ans. Yes, there are differences. to this day, I'm still waiting for even a single refutation. So why don't you be a man of integrity and say, you know what, Mansur is just claiming, go and get your Arabic experts, get this guy called what, the Coward Prince, whatever it's called, CP, whatever,
Christian Prince.
or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Get him, he's an Arab. Any Christian who speaks Arabic and scholarly and knows this material, go and ask to refute what I have done.
All right, here's an interesting point. And so let me put a challenge out to you, to Muslims.
And now he's going to challenge up to me in Israel.
No,
this first.
put this, because you got your angle on the way you want to look at this, okay? And I'm happy to do some research and come back to you with some of this stuff, okay? No
By the
problem
way,
at all.
before you go
no
on,
problem at all.
last time we discussed, there are many things you're going to come back to me. You never came back. This is the problem.
No, not
you
at
discussed
all.
many things. Oh, yes,
what?
pending,
Like what?
pending, many
Like
things.
what?
We can
No.
go back to the videos.
No.
We can go back and remind you.
chance.
Yeah.
But you didn't come back about Trinity specifically. About Trinity specifically.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember because
No.
I know it's very convenient to forget.
No, that's your claim, but I'm not.
Go and watch those videos and say,
accepting that.
my homework
No.
still to do was
No.
this, but I haven't done it.
No, I don't have any
Okay,
outstanding.
so
homework.
now,
So
Dan
sorry.
Brubaker, right,
So I'm not quite agreeing
Dan
with that.
Brubaker, can any one of you,
Yeah.
this is a challenge again, summarize his methodology, strength and weakness of the method that he's been used to do this research? Method, strength and weakness, because a conclusion is only valid
Right.
if the method is valid.
Here's the thing with this, which makes this a lot more simple than he's trying to suggest like it has to be some complex approach.
Not complex.
Now, let me
This is how scholarly works.
No.
This is how scholarship works.
No, let me explain.
You
Let
explain
me
the
explain
method,
something.
the
Let me-
weakness,
yeah.
and the strength.
So let me
and tell me
explain-
how
so
the
let-
conclusion
so let
follows
me-
from the method.
So let me explain this. If I get a hold of a copy from the museum, which you can do, of course, like in the one in London and the ones elsewhere around the world, and you look at the verses that are quoted, and you look at the way that the particular examples that has been given, the way it is written, and you make all those examinations, that is your case. That's your basis. Okay?
But Dan has not
Well,
done that.
No. Let me finish.
Dan has
Let
not
me
done
finish.
that.
Yes, he has. He has
Oh yeah,
because
he's a hero, he's a prophet, he's a god.
He has because in his book he provides those examples.
And of the manuscripts contemporary to that, yeah?
let me say, so of those 22 examples for which I have seen yesterday, I have had them all blown up on the PowerPoint, highlighted in front of me, so I can go to the museum, like you can go to the museum, and you could look at the claim he's making. So then you can make up your own mind whether he has a case, whether there has been insertions, corrections,
seen it,
or whatever.
right? You've seen it.
So I've seen the examples he put in front of me.
Good. So when he provided an example, did he then say all the manuscripts contemporaneous to this manuscripts, here is the text, and it doesn't have it, or he has it?
No, he's not saying that. He's saying that in this particular manuscript, in all the
What's your name, Mark?
yeah,
Mark, listen.
So in
Mark,
the,
Mark,
so
Mark.
one second.
No, 1 second to me. Mark, listen. Any person of integrity to make a claim of a corruption of a text, then they have to look at other manuscripts that are contemporaneous, or before or after. So out of, because
Not
I haven't read it, look,
necessarily, not
out of these 22 or 23 examples, has he looked at each example and said, look, this is an example, and these are all the available manuscripts from that time period, before or after, within a few hundred years?
Yeah, can I answer that?
Before you answer, understand what I'm saying. Understand.
I do understand.
No, I don't think you do understand.
Well, I do
so,
understand.
if we find, for example, a manuscript which is at the same time period, and it doesn't have this kind of omission, it's already there within the text. You don't need an insertion because the insertion is already part of the text. Then what will you make a conclusion? That the original text is what? The one with or one without?
So
Go
can
on,
I reply to this?
Yeah, reply. The original text is one with or without?
I want to reply in my own way. So let me explain.
No, the original text is one without or one with?
Because I'll tell you why. It could be either. And I'll tell you why. So here's the problem with this. When you look at, say, the oldest manuscripts we've got, and we look at the 10 oldest manuscripts.
Why 10?
Just as an illustrate.
Illustrate.
Right? Yeah?
Because that's the one he looked at it
illustrate
first.
my point, yeah. Because that's quite a good level of interrogation. So in those 10 manuscripts, what he has done is he's gone through each one and looked at what the Quran is in terms of the Hafs standardized, canonized version, as per 1940 whatever, updated 1985 whatever, and with that particular version, which most manuscripts would agree to, he is then looking at each of those 10 oldest manuscripts and seeing in those 10 manuscripts differences in every single one. So what that's telling me, or it's telling us...
You're still not dealing with what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's
out of this 10, did he compare one with against the 9? For each example. I'm saying to be a man of integrity, any integrity left is this.
Yeah, but that's
each example, listen. Each example.
It's not the point.
My point, you need to understand.
Point, no, but that's not
your point is, okay, I know what your point is.
Do you?
10 manuscripts. Okay, listen. 10 manuscripts, each one of them has some scribal mistakes.
No, much more significant than the way you're trying to.
Excuse me.
Trying to allude.
Let me hear.
Much more significant.
Let me tell you again. 10 manuscripts that I looked at.
Not scribal mistakes.
Listen, every manuscript has scribal mistakes.
It's more than just my scribal mistakes. That's not.
Wait, when you say more than, you're making a theological claim.
Based on the evidence we've got.
What evidence?
What is it more than scribal mistakes?
I tell you why.
Yeah.
So on some of the parchments, you've got different texts.
So they rubbed it out and they wrote the stuff.
Yeah, but the text must have come from somebody else, a different writer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So
it's not like a scribe has gone in, he's starting to copy, and whatever. What's happened is.
So someone correcting his mistake.
I can't ever finish a sentence here. Have you noticed that?
Oh,
so please.
Now, hang on. Now you realize what happens when you cannot finish your sentence.
Yes,
and
tricky,
all of your members do that to me.
Well, you're doing it
though.
hang
on, I'm doing it to tell you how it feels.
No, but you always do it.
Now it hurts.
But I've watched your videos. You always do it.
Now it hurts.
You always do it.
Hang on.
But you always do it.
Don't waffle.
No, I'm not waffling.
I give people a chance to speak.
No.
So now you realize.
Sure. That is a typical style of yours.
Mark, look, listen, Mark. By observing you, what you were saying was, here's a piece of paper, or at that time it was a parchment, Now it had something rubbed. Someone else had written something on it. Okay, a different scribe, Yes. He's a scribe. Listen, hold on. He's a scribe and I'm a scribe.
Yeah.
He writes something. Now, at that time, as you know, parchments weren't everywhere, so we had to reuse them. Okay.
Yes, I appreciate that.
So now,
they're expensive.
Exactly. Yeah. So now I take Brother Mansur's parchment, put it in water, get rid of the words as best I can, and I write on top of it. What's the problem? Me and him, we're in the same area. I'm guessing so, as I took
But
his
that's not
parchment.
even his example. His example
Is that your example?
You have a text. Look, I have here his whole PhD thesis, which he based on his research, and then he has more, which he's publishing, right? And he's going to publish more on his website. So what I am saying, which you are not getting it, how many times I'm going to say that? That when he does his research, if he finds an example of a certain mistake or difference from the Quran that we read today, did he look at every other manuscript and say, okay, this manuscript also has this or not has this?
But that's not what his claim is. That's
There's
not
no point.
his claim.
I'll leave it there.